Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the money secrets of the rich and famous. Today we're diving into a filing that has got some interesting moves from a company called the Crypto Company, so buckle up, because this might be wilder than a crypto roller coaster. Before we dive in, if you're all about getting the real story behind these corporate filings, make sure you're subscribed. And hey, we've got a thriving community over on Discord where we break down these reports even further. The link is in the description below, so the crypto company just dropped a report detailing some significant financial dealings. They're bringing in fresh cash and making some deals that could shape their future. This is an 8K filing, which is basically a report for important events that shareholders should know about right away. Think of it as a company S Urgent Alerts Bulletin. The earliest event they re-reporting here happened on the 23rd of September 2025. This tells us the company is acting fast to get this information out. We're talking about the crypto company. As the name suggests, they're in the digital asset space. What exactly are they doing with these crypto assets is always the big question. And here is how they tell us where they reincorporated and their main details. They re from Nevada, their file number is 000 negative 55,726, and their employer identification number is 46 to 4,212,105. Their main office is in Malibu, California, with the zip code 90,265. Now for the juicy part, what agreements have they entered into? This is where the strategic moves are revealed. First up, they've got subscription agreements. These are essentially contracts where investors agree to buy a certain number of shares at a set price. So, the crypto company sold over 165 million shares of their common stock. They got paid $661,000 and a little less than half a Bitcoin, or 0.43232 BTC. This is a significant amount of stock changing hands and bringing in cash and crypto. This tells us they needed capital and found willing investors who believe in their future. Getting Bitcoin as part of payment is also very telling for a company with crypto in its name. They're saying this is just a summary and the full details are in an exhibit. That is standard practice, but it means we don't have all the fine print here. Next, they've made some changes to a promissory note. A promissory note is basically a loan agreement. This is an amendment to a loan agreement. The original loan was made back in April 2024 from AJB Capital Investments LLC. This is the third time they've amended this note, showing this loan has been an ongoing part of their financial strategy. The big news here is they extended the deadline to repay this loan from the 12th of April 2024 original note to the 29th of March 2026. This means they bought themselves more time to settle this debt. This is crucial for companies that need runway to execute their growth plans or navigate challenging financial periods. And in exchange for this extension, the crypto company is handing over another 30 million shares of their common stock to the lender. This is a common tactic companies use to get favorable loan terms. They dilute their existing shareholders by issuing more stock, but it allows them to keep operating. This section clarifies how these shares were sold. So these shares weren't registered with the usual regulatory bodies. They're using a specific exemption, Regulation D, which is typically for private placements to sophisticated investors like accredited investors. This means they're not selling these shares to the general public in a typical stock offering. They're relying on the investors being accredited investors, meaning they're wealthy enough to understand the risks involved, and they're buying these shares not to flip them quickly, but to hold them. This is all about avoiding the lengthy and costly process of a public offering. This is where they list all the supporting documents filed with this report. Here is a look at the key exhibits they've included. Exhibit 10.1 is the actual template for those subscription agreements we talked about earlier. Exhibit 10.2 is the full text of that third amendment to the promissory note with AJB Capital Investments LLC. This is where the nitty-gritty of the loan extension lives. And finally, the signature page, where company officials confirm the accuracy of the filing. This report is signed on the 29th of September 2025. The signature you see here is from Ron Levy, who holds a pretty powerful combination of roles: Chief Executive Officer, Interim Chief Financial Officer, and Secretary. This tells us he is a key decision maker within the crypto company. So, what is the story here? The crypto company is actively raising capital through stock sales, bringing in both cash and a significant amount of Bitcoin. They also managing their debt effectively, extending a loan repayment with more stock. This shows a company that is in a growth or turnaround phase, needing funds to operate and potentially expand. The reliance on Regulation D suggests they re-keeping things private, which can be good for agility but might mean less transparency for everyday investors. The issuance of 30 million shares to a lender is a substantial dilution for existing shareholders, something to keep a very close eye on. While getting cash when you need it is positive, how they intend to use it and generate future profits underpins the true health of the company. Now, for my take, the crypto company is making bold moves to secure its financial footing and access needed capital. Bringing in $661,000 and a chunk of Bitcoin is a clear win for immediate liquidity. But the big red flag is the issuance of 30 million shares for a loan extension. That is a lot of dilution, meaning existing shareholders now own a smaller piece of the company. If the company does deliver strong growth and profitability to justify this dilution, existing shareholders will feel the pinch. Their strategy to rely on private placements and Regulation D is efficient for speed, but limits broad investor access and could signal we're not yet ready for the scrutiny of a public offering. The key risk here is whether these secured funds will lead to sustainable revenue and profit, or if it is just a temporary fix. For now, it is a company in transition navigating the complex world of startup finance. Alright, that is our breakdown of this filing from the crypto company. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company, S-Future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribing ensures you don't miss our future deep dives. And don't forget to check out the Discord community in the description for more insights and discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.